Hello, everybody. This is Drew. Today on our podcast, I am going to be talking to two senior executives. One is a founder of one of Pega's strongest SIs, Truviq. We have Suneel with us, and we also have Praveen from AntWorks. And both Praveen and Suneel have been working very closely together, not only with AntWorks but also with Pega on a number of initiatives. And so, welcome both of you gentlemen. Looking forward to seeing you both in a couple of days at PegaWorld. So,
Yep.
I know Sunil, you're going to be traveling from India. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, Drew.
Well, hopefully
It's
you
a
have
long,
safe
long,
travels.
it's long flight.
Long flight. And Praveen's going to
Yeah,
be flying in from Baltimore,
Yep.
right? Hopefully
See
by
the
that time the Orioles will be in third place in the AL East and the Yankees will stay in first. So,
all right.
um,
You hope so.
so with that, I'd like to just kind of start the conversation, right? With the advent of Pega World, coming up in a couple of days, I thought it would be interesting to get both of your perspectives, not only on Pega World itself, but some of the things that AntWorks and Truviq and Pega have been working on as it relates to some of the technology that we're going to be showcasing in a couple of weeks' time. So, why don't we do a little refresher? Sunil, why don't you give us a little bit of background around Truviq, how you started the company, where you kind of specialize in? It would be very helpful for our listeners to kind of get an understanding of your company and the evolution of the partnership that the three entities, AntWorks, Truviq, and Pega enjoy.
yeah, sure, Drew. That would be great. So, thank you very much for having me here. So I'm Sunil, like founder and CEO of Truviq Systems. So, before talking about Truviq, I have to introduce myself. I'm a Pega architect. So, I was part of Pega Systems India. So, back in 2013. So did a lot of actually work in industry application space of Pega, and I've been one of the core members of Pega government applications, emerging market applications, and all industry applications. So then after leaving Pega, so I started Truviq Systems. So with a mission of actually helping the customers in getting like more value out of Pega and bringing some value-based outcomes to the customers of Pega. That's our mission. And from last 7 and 8 years, we have been partners to Pega. So we are specialized into in intelligent automation space, end-to-end automations, like KYC, CLM. We did a lot of work in the financial services sector with dispute management, dispute lifecycle management, claims processing, KYC solutions, and all. And so we help customers in utilizing Pega to solve their problems, also getting more value out of Pega. So that's about Truly.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for that. And I know for sure our partnership has really skyrocketed over the last couple of months with a lot of the work that we're doing jointly with Pega. So we appreciate very much. And Praveen, I know that you've been really kind of spearheading that partnership, especially on the development side, building some of the applications. Why don't you give us a little bit of background around the partnership and how it works with CMR Plus, which is AntWorks, flagship application.
Sure, Drew. Nice to see you again, Sunil. So we started this journey with Pega around a couple of years back, where we built what we call as our smart ship with CMR Plus into the Pega workflows. A little bit about CMR Plus before we go into the partnership. AntWorks CMR Plus, CMR stands for Cognitive Machine Reading. It's a platform designed to automate data extraction from complex documents with very high accuracy, right? At scale, we can extract information from hundreds of pages of documents when it is unstructured and highly complex. So unlike any traditional OCR, we leverage cognitive learning to process various document types. It can be in structured, unstructured, or semi-structured. So thereby making it very ideal for businesses to which have very heavy document processing needs to use a platform like CMR Plus to make it more efficient. So with Pega, we noticed that intelligent document processing is a gap that we could fill and bring the features that we provide into the Pega's workflows, thereby handling their document needs. So when we made this integration, we made it seamless so that the Pega users can easily uh, go through the workflows and have a seamless experience of extracting all that information that is residing very deep into those documents and making it available into their Pegasus workstream. This had we have integrated into two different areas. One is the Pega Infinity, and also we have integrated with Pega's email bot, which also has a fair bit of natural language processing. There is sentiment analysis within Pega's email bot. All we are doing is extending those capabilities to add intelligent document processing into those work streams.
Thanks for that, Praveen. I appreciate it. And Suneel, it's always great seeing you, my friend. One of the things I do want to kind of touch on first, because I think it will be important for our listeners to kind of understand, obviously Pega has a very strong platform with tons of features and functionality. And Suneel, from your perspective, deploying hundreds of Pega projects over the years, what was your kind of interest in AntWorks and integrating AntWorks into Pega? What did you see as potentially a soft spot, if you will, in the Pega platform where AntWorks can fill that and make it a lot stronger in terms of the platform?
Yeah, sure, Drew. So see, AntWorks is a great complementing capability to Pega. So because in Pega, so we do process automations, business process automations. Let's say, for example, loan processing, okay, lending, KYC, claims processing, and all these things. So in everywhere in the process, so these all processes are like heavily document, okay, so dependents, okay. So for everywhere, like you need proof of, okay, so evidence or something like that as a documents. So when it comes to documents, right, so we don't have out of the box any feature in Pega where we can extract data from documents and use it into our actually workflows. So with AntWorks, so I mean, it was like tremendous results we were able to generate in the Pega workflows, in automating the Pega workflows, okay, end to end without human intervention. So basically, like whenever the documents are involved, like you always needs to have a human intervention, like who can verify the documents and key in the data from the documents to your process, okay, to the forms and all. But whereas using AntWorks, so we were able to actually not just structured documents, but also unstructured documents, handwritten documents, scanned images, extracting data from scanned images. We were able to automatically extract data from the documents which are attached to the case. And also we were able to use it into our business rules and create straight through processings. So which is like, I mean, helping okay, a lot in terms of like reducing the turnaround time in resolving the cases, okay, so whatever we create, and also like avoiding the human intervention, okay, so we're all like we are heavily document dependent and all. So this is a great capability, and this is actually complementing in many ways to Pega.
Right. So do you see that more as a return on investment? Do you see it more for accuracy? Do you see it more for just kind of business flow, the unison of AntWorks and Pega Infinity? Or is it a combination of all three? And I'll throw that out to both Praveen and Suneel for that question, because I think it it would pertain to both of you.
So I would say
Yeah.
it will increase the accuracy and efficiency as well. So because so whenever like human are involved, like we might actually end up like doing some mistakes and all, whereas like this system actually is powerful enough, okay, to avoid all sort of actually human errors and mistakes and getting the exact data whatever we are looking at from the right place, okay, also highlighting from where we are actually, okay, getting that data, okay, there is a proof of evidence as well, okay, this is the place where we are extracting the data. I think like, so it's actually has both improves the efficiency and as well as accuracy.
Great.
Yeah, I think I
And
second
Praveen?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Just to add a couple of more points there. Why this integration? Why AntWorks and Pega, right? Um, as Sunil said, we complement each other very well. We work both AntWorks CMR plus platform and Pega work better when together, right? So some of the features that we bring to the table here is from CMR plus. Um, as I mentioned before, the extraction of data from highly complex and unstructured documents at scale. That's one of the main features. The second one is we all talk about AI, and AntWorks we have also leveraged Gen AI for deep analysis and document insights. So that's a huge add-on which we bring to the table. There is continuous accuracy improvements without or with minimal manual intervention. And we have a citizen developers enabled platform, right, which is very intuitive and low code, no code interface. So all these features combined together will is bringing this integration is making it very fruitful. And as Sunil said, there is a lot of benefits with this integration.
Great. Yeah, and I know that from all the buzz around PegaWorld 24 is around Gen AI. Obviously, that's a big
Yeah.
hot topic, and Pega has launched their Gen AI platform called Pega Blueprint, right? And I know that
Yep.
the three
Right.
companies, AntWorks and Truviq and Pega, have already started to build applications off of Blueprint, which is pretty exciting. So as we start to talk about these applications and how easy they are to build and the confluence of implementing this into a Pega application, some of the things I'd like to kind of talk about. Obviously, we're going to have significant amounts of use cases of applications that are going to be at the AntWorks booth, of which both Praveen and Suneel will be there. So we'd love to see everybody who's going to be at PegaWorld stop by the booth, so we can actually demonstrate not only the use cases but talk about specific business problems that you may be having within your business and your Pega applications. But one of the things that I'd like to talk about is the email bot. I think we're seeing a lot of businesses, because of cost, because of of business quickness and fluid in their business, interacting with their customers in a very automated fashion, whether it's by email, whether it's by text, what have you. And one of the things that we see is requests for information, right? So in a bank, for example, if they're doing if they're doing, for example, a lending, they have a commercial customer, and the commercial customer needs to submit some information, right? Typically, that's done via email for the most part, or faxed in, or what have you. But most of the time, we're seeing email, and Pega has a very, very strong email bot capability. And one of the things that I know that Praveen and Sunil, you guys have built, is that integration between AntWorks and the email bot, where AntWorks can actually take those documents and read the more complex documents like financial statements or UCC filings, what have you. Can you guys talk a little bit about that use case? Because I think that's a very strong kind of functionally rich, lots of moving parts, lots of policies, lots of procedures, lots of complex documents that need to be brought into that flow to automate that lending request feature. So I'll start with you, Suneel. What are you seeing, and can talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So one of the actually goal when we did this integration was like it has to be like very seamless and a no code integration between Pega and AntWorks. That was one of the challenge or goal which we have taken to ourselves, like, and we did it. So once we have actually automated the workflows, extracting the documents in the workflows and all, so then we thought, like customers in the customer service, email bot, okay, is a great capability of Pega. So where like we can actually automatically service the customers and reduce the turnaround time and support the customers. Okay, so email bot actually is built on with a great natural language NLP capabilities of Pega, and I mean, but again, like it's an email, like it's lacking the document processing capabilities. Okay, the bot is lacking the document processing capabilities. So we have actually went one more step ahead and thought like, why don't we integrate AntWorks also with email bot so that whatever documents we receive via email, AntWorks will automatically process the documents, extract the data from the documents, and understand the context of the email, and also using the data of the documents, so it can apply some business rules, okay, and actually take it forward, whether you have to do an auto reply or whether you have to actually route it to some specific user work basket, or you have to actually create a case for further processing. So all these actions like can be performed, okay, and so far email bot can read only the subject or the body of the email, but with the AntWorks capabilities adding to the email bot functionality of Pega, we were able to actually even read the documents in the email and actually, yeah, process the case accordingly.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, coming to that, yeah, the use case you talk about, like in a financial services area, like where like mortgage or lending is actually very popular use case. And imagine a customer sending a documents via email, okay, financial analysis or the financial reports in an email. And so AntWorks is reading those financial reports automatically and summarizing all the information for the user, okay, and adding to the case and routing to the, I mean, so credit officer or a credit monitoring user or somebody, like it's like amazing straight through processing like use case, okay, so which we can actually successfully implement using AntWorks and Pega.
And again, Praveen, I'd love to get your take on it, but from my perspective, being an ex-lender, that would support a better compliance, being able to have that information quickly, to be able to credit risk, to be able to score that, be able to make decisions faster, quicker, making sure the customer has access to those funds in a more, a prudent time frame, or making those tough decisions where perhaps it's not as positive for the borrower as well. Praveen, I'd love for you to kind of expand on that as well, because I think that from the AntWorks perspective, we'd love to bring that to more of the Pega customer base, especially in the consumer lending side and the commercial lending side.
Sure, Drew. Yes, you're absolutely right. So credit risk monitoring is definitely a very good use case for Pega and CMR Plus to come together, because CMR Plus will unlock all the data in those attachments, right? Whereas the email bot was not able to go through the attachments and get the data. So that gives more visibility into the data, and allows Pega to apply those business rules or handle exceptions or triage rules, or even create sub cases based on the data and the value that is extracted from those documents. So and also what we have done in this proof of concept is where we have used a credit risk questionnaire to send it to the email bot, and the email bot in turn sends the document attachment to CMR Plus, which will help the Pega workflow do the monitoring and approve a credit application or reject it based on the data that's there in the document. So that's one of the use cases that we have predominantly showcased all around. And you also mentioned about corporate lending. That's a very good use case for CMR Plus as well, because when it comes to lending, a business may may approach any bank and asking for a corporate loan and to handle their their utilities or maybe even run payrolls. So that's when they submit multiple supporting documents like their financial statements, P&L, cash flows, assets and liabilities, etc. And all those documents coming into Pega's workflow. But then CMR Plus is will come into picture where we can go through those documents, extract all the relevant data, apply business rules on that, make some data validations, and also use generative AI to make some summarizations and do some inference, apply some inference models on those data, and help these analysts or banking professionals to take the right decisions for those lending operations. So yes, I think we do complement each other very well into this
Fantastic.
area.
Yeah, and I know that we're working together, obviously with Truviq and AntWorks with a Pega customer in Asia that is working on commercial lending, specifically around onboarding commercial customers, right? Where
Yep.
they have articles of incorporation, they might have hundreds of pages in terms of their corporate documents where to get an approval for a wire transfer or approval for some sort of a lending vehicle, might have different signature authorities based upon, whatever the policies and procedures may be. We're also seeing in this particular case multiple languages, right? So we're in this particular case, I think it's Chinese and English. Can we talk a little bit about from both your perspectives the power of integrating AntWorks and Pega, especially on these commercial business loans, whether it's onboarding, in this case, a commercial client in Asia, around the power of having that multi language capability in onboarding, which could take a shorter period of time to accomplish using our technology.
Yeah, we recently worked with this client in Asia where their main bottleneck or their main pain point was handling multi-language. Also, these double byte characters like Chinese or Mandarin are very difficult for a traditional OCR platform to read. Whereas with CMR Plus, we have extended those capabilities to handle all these multiple languages, Asian languages, and we have facilitated that process to extract all that and also make sense of by extracting all those multi-language data from those documents into a normal into the workflow, thereby having all these Pega operators or users understand those documents even better by by using translation capabilities of GenAI. We are using the extraction capabilities, multi-language capabilities. So all this
Sure.
has been used, and
That's
I
great.
think those.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I was just going to say, the thing that I'm seeing, and again, being excited about this is cool, right? From Suneel, from your perspective, what Praveen was talking about the power of AntWorks. Can you talk a little bit about the implementation of AntWorks into that type of a use case? Because most of the times what we're seeing is the customer has already made the investment in Pega or is in the process of deploying Pega when they say, oh, by the way, we need to have this functionality that's not in Infinity currently, so they bring AntWorks to the table. What does the integration look like? Is it is it a very expensive? Is it time consuming? Or is AntWorks kind of a supporting factor in the ease of use of that type of deployment?
Yeah. So yeah, sure, Drew. As I said, like our first goal when we started doing integration was like to make it absolutely seamless and also no code integration. So we have built a smart shape, which is just actually a deployable component into any Pega environment. And and as soon as we deploy this component, so there is a smart shape available in your case designer, and you just have to drag and drop the CMR plus AntWorks CMR plus smart shape into your actually case designer, and you just have to configure it. So it's an absolute no code, and any business user can do this integration. Okay, so once you configure your documents in AntWorks. So another actually a great actually capability or feature of AntWorks, which I like, was one is like document classification. Okay, feature like which is a great capability of AntWorks. And one more thing is like if you have a documents like we are like you're mentioning about like multi-page documents where articles of incorporation, contract documents, where you have multi-page documents. Like in some of the, I have seen some attachments like which are up to like a 300-page documents as well, some commercial contracts and all these things. Like, so with the AntWorks, like I mean, the capability of AntWorks is like, it just crawls to entire document and fetch that exact particular information, whatever we are looking for. And also it gives you an evidence like from where it has been picked that. So out of those 600 pages, that is a great capability of AntWorks. And like a user, let's say, for example, a Pega user, actually a case user is working on a case where he has to actually open that 200, 300 page document and has to actually search for the entire document and to find out like where the information is lying. So, but with AntWorks, like, so the data is already present in the screen, extracted from the document, and as well as he can actually go and check from where it has been picked. And this is also a great capability of AntWorks, and where it is actually adding a lot of value to the Pega users, and they can expedite their work, and also like we can configure some of the straight-through processing cases as well. And this integration, as I mentioned, like it's an absolute no-code integration. You just have to drag and drop into your case designer and configure it. So your response to your data model of Pega, that's it.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. So, as we talk about PegaWorld, and we're all gearing up for it, obviously, Praveen, is there any use case that you're excited to show when we're, going to be there in a couple of days? So, if there was like one use case where you're like really excited about, which one would it be? And talk to a little bit about that use case.
Sure. There are several. It's hard to pick one.
I'm putting you on the spot.
But I will go with mortgage loan origination. So that's one of the coolest use cases that we have done. And that has, just because it is highly unstructured documents coming in, various documents coming in, and really complex data that we need to extract from those documents. Like we are talking about loan origination as in residential lease loan agreements. It might be your HUD-2 forms. It might be mortgage appraisal forms, supporting documents like your W-2 statements. So there are a lot of documents that come into the origination process. And we have showcased or built a use case based on all extracting data from all those documents and feeding it back into Pega's workflow and making that seamless. So that is one of the best use cases that I would say that I would like to show during in the booth.
Great, thank you. And Suneel, what about you? What use case are you really excited about showcasing at PegaWorld?
Yeah, I'm excited about email bot. So
Yeah.
where like, so bots are always exciting things, and the capabilities like Gen AI, NLP, and all these things, like, so there's a lot of wow factor in that. Like I'm pretty excited about to showcase the email bots.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the best integrations we've built, because it has so many applications across industries, as well as the functional aspects of it. One of the things that I'd like to bring up from last year's PegaWorld, where we were all involved in, was actually a use case we had no idea, and a prospective customer came to us and said they had a problem, and it was one of the largest banks in the world. They came to us and said, we have a problem around closing out accounts with customers that have been deceased, so end of life,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Bereavement. where we kind of started talking about, the complexity of that type of a use case where unfortunately a customer passes away, and depending upon, the deceased, whether they had a will, whether they didn't have a will, whether, there were beneficiaries, multiple beneficiaries, cause of death, all of those types of scenarios where the customer was saying it can take anywhere from 6 weeks to a year before, they could close that loan or close that account, or, change the beneficiaries and keep that account active inside the organization. And this customer was saying that there must be a way we can do this, because right now most of it was done manually. Um, and so, we all, the three of us with our Pega counterparts, sat down and said we can build, a really strong case management system utilizing CMR Plus, and the integration that, that Truviq can do as well, to not only make that process faster, but do it with empathy, so that the bereaved or the beneficiaries can get a, you know uh, I don't want to how to say, a good experience out of a bad situation, if you will.
Right.
And also try to give the institution an opportunity to retain those funds in some fashion, right? If it's done with empathy, if it's done, quick, without a lot of paperwork having to be sent back and forth, and if you can manage it properly, the beneficiaries can say, hey, this is a company I want to do business with going forward. So
Yeah.
not only making it a revenue opportunity, but it's more of an opportunity to show that, that banks always get a bad kind of reputation as, for customer service. In this particular case, it really supports the other side of the equation, where in a bad situation, you're really being, focus around the customer and how you can be attentive to that, to those needs. So for me, I think those are the things that I'm more excited about at PegaWorld, is having conversations with, Pega customers that have unique situations to their business, and how, Truviq and AntWorks and, our other partners inside of Pega can come together to solve, these very complex problems. So, I'm excited about the opportunity to have those conversations. I know the both of you are as well. And I think, from my perspective, that's kind of how, we're running up against our time here. But, I'd certainly love to get, both of your last words on, you told us what your favorite use case or what you're excited to talk about. But what are you looking forward to in terms of, PegaWorld? The excitement of 7,000. I hear from the Pega people that this is going to be the largest PegaWorld. I think that they're oversubscribed,
Wow.
which again is fantastic. So again, what are you guys looking forward to in terms of PegaWorld, Suneel?
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to meet more people and hear their actually like use cases or problems they're going through. And so I'm looking forward to actually, so to see how we can solve their problems. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so come up with interesting, so use cases like whatever you have. And we are very excited to actually hear those things and solve your problems. Yeah.
Yeah. Suneel and Praveen, how about yourself?
Yeah. So Drew, you talked about the bereavement use case, right? So that came as a surprise for us. We didn't even think about it
Right.
as a use case for us, right? So
Mhm.
discovering such use cases, challenging use cases that actually can make an impact on the business operations, right? So the getting to know those customers who are handling those use cases, they are having those pain points day in day out in their process, and somehow making those processes better and more efficient for them, so that they can use their time and skill in a better manner, right? So that's what I'm looking for: discovering new use cases, discovering challenges, and solving problems.
Great. Yeah, and I think the other thing, again, all of us, on this call, we're Pega, we're either ex-Pega or we spent a lot of time with Pega. I know Suneel and I are ex-Pega, and
Yeah.
Praveen has worked with Pega now for a number of years. So, from my perspective, not only meeting and seeing friends from, from years, years and years, and customers that have been with Pega for 25, 30 years, as long as Pega's been around, is exciting. And again, I think, from both of your excitement level around just having conversations with people around their particular business problem, right? I think those are the things that I'm looking forward to. So with that, again, stop by our AntWorks booth. Praveen and Sunil and myself will be there. We're looking forward to everybody having a safe journey in. For those of you who do arrive early on Sunday and can't check into your hotel until 4 p.m., AntWorks will be hosting a Top Golf event right in MGM I think it's from 1 to 4 p.m. or 1 to 4 p.m. We'll have food, we'll have some, some beverages, and you can hit a couple of golf balls into the into Vegas and start the PegaWorld off right. So with that, everybody, it's Suneel and Praveen. It was great chatting with you. Again, have safe trip into PegaWorld. Love to see you guys at the booth on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And for everyone else, again, please stop by the booth. We'd love to have a chat with you around your business requirements and how we may help your journey with Pega. So with that, I'll end the podcast and have a great time. And we'll see you at PegaWorld. Thanks, everybody.
See you at PegaWorld. Bye.
All right.
Thank
Cheers.
you, guys. Bye.